the ESPN host just said he might step down and run for Senate. He's like never even been political.
Who's Stephen Smith? Or you're not talking about him, are you?
No, in Alabama. And and it just saying that, and specifically cited the inspiration, Paul Feinbaum, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he said, look, them taking out Charlie made me step up and realize that maybe there's some things that are more important that I've been putting off. And to walk away from something like that is just amazing. Well, and that's what's happening right now.
Just to go back to this story, the real question I have for you guys, I suppose, is what do you think the ramifications of 100,000 federal workers quitting is going to be?
Well, nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. We need more. We need to increase those numbers. There's 2.4 million government employees.
It's a drop in the bucket.
That's nothing, right? So that's way too much employees. Fire as many of them as you can. Please start at the Federal Reserve. Start cutting at the CIA. They're not doing anything good for us.
The H-1B processors, just get rid of all of them.
I will say, if you go on Zillow in Northern Virginia right now, it looks like the rapture happened. Like there's so many houses for sale. It's beautiful right now.
Yeah, it's like self-selection, right? Sometimes the doors that you need to close for people, they just close on themselves and say, look, I'm out. And it's like, okay, thank you for self-selecting. It makes it easier.
Yeah, Hegseth was saying this earlier. He said, if you don't like what I'm saying, then I expect you to resign, and we will say thank you for your service. I was like, yeah, fire them all.
I liked when Trump walked out. That clip you're playing earlier where
we'll play that one in a second. But
wow. where they all kind of realized that, hey, wait a minute. As it turns out, the American people made their voices heard. And Charlie Kirk was a huge part of that in the swing states, and the deployments that came out, the trainings that were done from Turning Point Action, going to youth, going to those low propensity voters, figuring out, and Tyler Boyer, of course, figuring out the formula to say, how do we go to people who have never voted before and get them interested in politics? And if we do that, that's different than saying, oh, we're getting a guy who's voted for Trump before. We're going to get someone who's never voted. And so when you look at it in terms of political mathematics, that's all profit. That's all net gain. So how do we go to particularly young men, young women as well, but particularly young men? Charlie understood that that's who he identified as that leading edge. And you've seen it in poll after poll, young Gen Z men breaking for Trump, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and then of course right here in Arizona as well. And you can see the efforts play out because Arizona had the biggest swing from 2020 to 2024, and that's because of Charlie Kirk and Turning Point.
Yeah, I mean, that's with young men. What Kirk did was he just reminded young men of who they are. Like, you're an American, remember who you are. And that has a huge effect. I mean, obviously, it's a secret sauce. Young Patriots.
when you get like the high school football captain married to the beauty queen, and and shout out to Erica, Time 100, got just dropped today, and it's like actually we can just be better than them, as it turns out.
Yeah, you can just get them interested in politics. It's a very low bar. They're not that interested. So you just get them. What on earth?
Wait, I just pulled up the meme reference that Tate was making.
So true.
That's awesome.
So true.
Literally us Zoomer patriots.
I mean, this meme is really funny. For those just listening, it's a T-Rex emerging from the clouds telling a chicken, remember who you are. But there's some truth to it. Could you imagine what the founding fathers would say to us today, looking at this country, being like, no, this is all wrong. What is going on?
They were having a heart attack. They were like, what? Do you guys have an IRS? You guys have an ATF? What? Like, they would be...
Your armies are deployed where?
Yeah, all over the globe. What? How many
the Ottomans? What do you worry about the Ottomans
You're going to be bombing Iran again? Come on. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, come on. Those guys have flip-flops. Like, they're not a threat. All right?
Those guys have flip-flops.
What made Charlie so powerful is his ability to speak into the heart and soul of people being able to tap into ethics, morals, and have them self-governing, so that their convictions weren't just on a news cycle. It was something much deeper than that. And that's why these spiritual practices that he had were so powerful. And so you go back and you look at all these nuances, what made him the man that he was and is today. And it was all about deep personal devotion to God that makes you immovable when it comes to things pertaining to the conscience and morality, to hold to things like the 10 Commandments, which the Sabbath was so important to Charlie.
Yeah.
And I find that really inspirational.
Yeah, so it used to be that Charlie was always very accessible by phone. He was just you know, a texting addict. I asked him once, I said, how many texts do you send a day? Because when I'd spend time with him, he's just constantly, right? Just like Tim right now. And and he would say probably about 1,000. Wow. He just said probably about 1,000. And except on Saturdays. So if you wanted to get hold of Charlie on a Saturday, you would have to go to Erica, and that's only emergencies only. And you know, we rarely would ever do that, but he would take Saturday off of his phone, and it would be pretty much Friday night into, you know, Saturday night, Sunday morning. There was no phone, and he would unplug, and it was all family time or reading or being with the Bible. And you know, it just kind of hit me that, you know, on this past Saturday, that I was thinking like, oh, I got to text Charlie this thing, and I was like, oh wait, it's Saturdays, because my normal routine kicked in, so it's Saturday, so I can't text him. But then it kicked in again that every day is Saturday now.
Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful. The book that is set to drop December 9th, Stop, and In the Name of God, right? So this is Charlie's book. You guys probably could tell me more in terms of the release, but...
Yeah, so he's writing a book about this.
Yeah.
Or had written a book about this.
Yeah. Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. And this, if you look at the historical relevance of this, it was everything to do with people having deep devotion to God. And it was the underpinning, like, because what did Charlie stand for? The utmost morality. He was trying his very best to be moral in all categories, defending life, and then, you know, speaking about sexual impurity, debating the OnlyFans girls, or, you know, all these different things that were so important. And the underpinning of them, that you look at the 10 Commandments, the Sabbath is the one that acknowledges God as the source of all things and says, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all of your work, but the seventh day, the Sabbath of the Lord your God, in it you shall do no work. And that devotion gave people historically strength to withstand all types of oppression and persecution. Millions of people gave their lives because they were unwilling to surrender this day of worship, because it was their allegiance to God, and it was for Charlie. And I think that that's something that people can really think about, because it will cement morals and values so deeply in people that they will not be willing to let this country turn to trash.
Amen.
Let's jump to the next big story then about this country potentially turning to trash, because the Democrats' shutdown, Trump is calling it. We've got, from the time of recording this, 3 hours and 20 minutes. This is the whitehouse.gov government shutdown clock with a big red banner saying Democrat shutdown is imminent. CNN says U.S. braces for government shutdown as midnight deadline looms.
Can I just say, CNN is hyping this up like it's going to be the Purge or something. I hope. Well, there's no laws after midnight, and the siren comes out, you know, like in the movie. You know,
I thought that was the case. It's not the case?
No, yeah, no, it actually is. No, Trump's going to come out and he goes, I got a great idea.
Trump has an opportunity to do an incredible thing right now. He could say the Democrats don't want to fund it. You know what? We're not going to fund it. We're going to get rid of the IRS. We're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. We're going to go on a GoFundMe system. And you're going to, so if you want to bomb Iran, here's our GoFundMe for bombing Iran.
If you want healthcare,
if you want Social Security, give, send, go, sir. Yeah, you're right. Give, send, go. Yeah. So it's apologies for that. So give, send, go. But yeah, I mean, that's how the government should run.
In all seriousness, though, Trump wouldn't do that, but he does have an opportunity of firing lots more people.
Yeah.
He can say to them, okay, if you're not going to fund this, he already instructed federal agencies to prepare for redundancies. They're basically saying, we don't have the funding for this, so we're going to start firing way more people. The Democrats tried playing politics, as they often do, saying, we demand all of these policy changes. What did they want? They wanted, what was it, 1.5 trillion? In certain, they wanted funding, healthcare funding for non-citizens, for illegal immigrants. Mm-hmm. The Republicans say no to this. Democrats say then we're not going to vote for it. Now Trump can be like, oh, gee, I guess we can't pay. I guess we got to fire people.
Well, and there's that video from Maxine Waters that James Blair just tweeted out, and he's basically like, where she says something about, somebody asks her, okay, so are you really demanding healthcare for illegal aliens? And she's like, well, we want healthcare for everyone. It's like, so you admit it. Like, in the same token, right? Remember, illegal aliens don't vote, but then the illegal alien who was found to be a school board supervisor in Iowa is actually registered to vote in Maryland since 2012, and he's not a U.S. citizen at all. But I'm sure he never actually cast a ballot. I mean, that would be crazy, right?
Yeah, he's been here for what? How long has he been here?
Like
and he's been registered
12, 13 years or something.
Yep.
Or at least he was registered for that long. He might have been here longer.
And he was getting paid, what, $300,000 a year?
Yep. And it sounds to me like
dude.
that was probably the name he's using is probably an assumed identity.
Yep.
And so he was under that because it's like a Bob Smith kind of name, you know. And
this is nuts.
And
like
so
the
if that's
degree
happening,
to which,
then just think of imagine what we don't know about.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.